doing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, woo, wheeling dealing, limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun, and I'm having a hard time holding these alligators.
You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on it, flaring on it. We Ric Flairing on it. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on it, flaring on it. Yeah, we Ric Flairing on it, flaring on it. It's apparent these girls staring. I'm Ric Flairing, gold across my chest. I'm fresh to death. I'm Paul Bearing, not at all scary. When I open like Betty Wops, then find to these circles that's going in like a carry shot. Woo! I'm going in like a Mary Pop off that Mary Crop at the top flow at the Marriott. So questioning me is like questioning you. See, we the best dressed, so come and get blessed with the crew. Not one but two, different ways to slaughter your crew. Committed tat across the chest, I guess she blessed with the truth. People want to see them checks, representation of proof. Living through my elders, trying to resonate to the youth. But ain't nothing to get my flash on. Longevity is heavily embedded in my melanin. Layman terms, I last long. My grind repetitive, I'm smoother than real silk. Lyrical cash cow who can't cry over spilled milk. We in here. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on it, flaring on it. We Ric Flairing on it, flaring on it. To the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on it, flaring on it. We Ric Flairing on it, flaring on it. This ain't no normal situation, this preparation with greatness. Industry full of fakeness is really up for the taking. See, life is what happened to you, more so how you take it. Don't get stripped of your knowledge and mentally leave you naked. I like to live otherwise. I'm sorry that I'm fresh to death. I put the polo and apologize. See, black son, we ain't nothing like the mother guys. Quit to socialize, we organize, then we mobilize. Off the deep end like a scuba diver. And no confusion, just keep it pushing like Uber drivers. Woo! Business fresh just like a supervisor in a Gucci visor. Can't find a smoother rhymer. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on it, flaring on it. We Ric Flairing on it. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on it, flaring on it. We Ric Flairing on it, flaring on it.
Yeah, DQ baby. Shout out to boy Nigga for that fire track. Hey, Black Sun, sun up. What's up, Vinny Vegas? What in Vegas? Yeah. Shout out Pharaoh's Kids, D-Phase, yeah, Bubba C, yeah, Ric Flairing on them, Ric Flairing on them, Ric Flairing on them, Ric Flairing, sun up, baby.
Hey, Roundtable Season 2. Scotty and Blue. Backpack coming through. Let's square it away, ain't nothing like the round table. I pay you if able to find better on cable. They made you appreciate Scotty and Blue. Football media, walking encyclopedia. Scott understand, the Blue got the stats handy. Football, the topic around it, they ain't dancing. Stat sheet longer than Clifford Harris's rap sheet. He run a phone, please. See why you playing them that deep. Awkward silence, no need to be quiet. You know you saw the game, we might as well talk about it. Somebody caught a body in front of everybody. Pick six, cornerback out here committing robberies. How much you wanna bet we could cover the spread? 50 yards in the game, 100 after the catch. Throw it up if you want, I'ma grab it and flex. Season 2, Captain Pettier, still with the mess. You can move how you want, but we gon' move too. Round table with your boys, yeah, Scotty and Blue. Backpack. Poet.
What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Scotty, and you already know I'm here with my boy Blue.
What's good, man? What's good?
What's up, man? That background looking a little different, man. Looking a little real nice, little fancy.
Hey, a little fancy, man, in the hotel, man. Traveling up there for North Carolina Central Campbell, man. I'm excited to cover that game. I've been looking forward to that game for a minute now.
Man, I bet, man. I bet. I know you told me earlier is the rain has mysteriously predicted that it won't be there.
Listen, I don't trust anything. I told someone last night, I was like, I got to break week 3 or week 4, and now they're like, we're gonna throw a hurricane at you. They're just trying to keep me from all the games. It's gonna be bad.
Listen, I don't know, Blue. It's kind of you. You kind of the weatherman out here in these streets. You either bringing lightning, you definitely bringing rain. Okay, let's just if you in the building, you definitely bringing some rain. So you know,
I need the Weather Channel sponsorship ASAP.
For real.
Blues forecast of the weekend.
He was like, "Oh, I'm coming to this game, so you know it's gonna be some rain." I know it's gonna be some rain, but hey, man, let's get into it. You already know where we're going. Thursday night football, Bengals versus the Dolphins. Who you got?
Who do you think I got? It don't matter. Listen, Burrow, Bungalow, it doesn't matter. Dolphins by 50. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Stop.
Listen, if we're promoting everyone for Heisman, hashtag Tua for Heisman. How about that? Let's do it.
Oh, Dolphins by 50? Dolphins by 50? Come on.
We're going to win. I trust this, man. Listen, I'm a Dolphins fan. This is the first time, I think the first time we've been 3-0 since I might have been born. So listen, I'm riding this train all the way to the Super Bowl, man. 16-0. Wait, no, 17-0 regular season is what I'm going for now.
You know I'm 1-0 Thursday night pick'ems. We let's stick on Thursday. We stayed on Thursday. We locked in on Thursday. So, oh man. You know what? I would have went with the Bengals if they didn't play so bad against my boys, and we won. I was like, I wasn't expecting that type of Bengals. That offensive line still doesn't look pretty. It doesn't look good at all. So man, listen, I think Tyreek gonna go dumb. I just think he's gonna go dumb. So I got the Dolphins winning this one 35-21. 35-21.
I'm gonna need you to sing that Kofi song real quick. Go ahead. How'd it go?
Well,
what was the Dolphin song that he made up on spot?
Oh my God, bro! I didn't even know y'all had a theme song.
I don't think we do. I think he made that up on spot.
He was looking at a paper or something, like he was reading it off the paper. But yeah, I got 35. What you got the score for, Blue?
I'll take Dolphins 28, Bengals 21.
28-21. All right, and I'm surprised Burrow hasn't been looking like Burrow. You know what I'm saying?
The offensive line looks like it's regressed. I don't know how they tried to make improvements and it made it worse, but that offensive lines look terrible.
Yeah, it does, and I really felt bad for my boy La'el Collins because he's not looking like the right tackle they went out and bought and paid all that money for. He's still, because man, Michael Parsons get that boy the business. He said, no, that's actually the Dolphin song. I'm
embarrassed. I might not be a fan. Never mind. Bengals by 50. I stand corrected.
All right, Blue, let's get to this week 3 reviews. Your week 4 review. A couple games that you were talked about. And it can go all FCS because it was a lot of top teams in the FCS that failed this week. So, you know what I'm saying? We ain't got to go HBCU. I know you big brain Brad out here. So wherever you want to go with it.
I guess we could start with the game I was at. That Incarnate Word Southeastern game was extremely interesting. Lindsey Scott played well. Over 300 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, but they were in the red zone with the chance to pretty much seal that game. He throws just a boneheaded interception. I don't know what he was looking at, what he was trying to do, if he was trying to throw it away and the ball slipped, but that interception pretty much cost him the game. And the fact the way they lost had to be devastating. GJ Kinney was trying to call the timeout on the sideline. The ref didn't hear him. The corner turns because he thinks he called the timeout and gets burnt on that Hail Mary attempt. So, there were players on the field slamming helmets. They were having a meltdown on the Incarnate Word sideline, but it was amazing to be there and see just the emotion from the Southeastern sideline. The SID and one of the coaches were celebrating at midfield before the play was even over. The whole sideline took off.
Wow.
It was amazing to see, man, and it was great emotion. That was a big loss for Incarnate Word. They were winning that game. Probably would have clinched the Southland. And now you're looking 2 games down and looking at how the Southland's working out. I don't see Southeastern dropping 2 conference games. So you're looking at Incarnate Word having to go for an auto bid now or just in that large bid when Southeastern locked up the auto bid. The other game that really surprised me was A&T showing up finally. I don't know what finally clicked for Sam Washington, but you have what I think is a first team All-American, a first team All-Conference running back in Tootin. Give him the football. Take the ball out of Jaeger's hands or whatever quarterback you want to put in, Fowler, and go ahead and run the football. And then for South Carolina State, I expected more from their front seven. You have to do better when you have Jamonski Green, you have Godbolt, you have BJ Davis, who racked up 17 tackles. It was impressive, but they just ran down their throat. And then also, Scotty, they had 8 yards rushing for the game. For South Carolina State did.
Yeah, I heard Kendra Flowers didn't play, and it's a huge drop off. It's a huge drop off.
And I'm sorry, the game plan for South Carolina State, if Corey Fields has to throw 50 times a game, South Carolina State cannot get to 500. You have to take the ball out of his hands and run the football and be balanced. But let me just say this, Shaq Davis deserves to be at least a day 2 pick. That he is different. He right now, he has an argument to be the best wide receiver in the FCS. He is absolutely balling in a matchup nightmare, man. But those are the 2 games that stuck out to me.
I'm actually, while we're talking, I'm actually got the game on another screen for the South Carolina State. They've taken Fields out and gone with Nix. I like what I see from Nix. He's a Tyrese. I believe his name's Tyrese Nix. Very dynamic when it comes to running the ball. I reached out to Tuck. He said not much of a thrower, but his speed is next level. My games that I want to talk about. Let me see where I want to go. Alabama State and Prairie View. I want to start there because when I went back and watched the film, Demetrius Davis he's very limited when it comes to just quarterbacking, not being an athlete, not being dynamic. Quarterbacking, he's very, very limited. And it's funny when I'm watching the game, I'm like, Alabama State had every opportunity to win the game. I'm talking about driving down to the in the red zone or trying to make plays, but he just when it comes to throwing the ball, there's just something that he hasn't broke through that next level yet. Ja'Cory Merritt was huge in that game, having some big time runs and affected the game. So was Santo Dunn. But Demetrius Davis, I guess we're enamored with the Shador's thing because he came right in and did what he did. And I know quarterbacks need some time to get that confidence or get that level of college football. But him coming from Auburn, I expected a lot more, and I'm not seeing that dynamic ability from Demetrius Davis other than being an athlete. Let me see. That game was real disappointing for me. And let me see. I mean, everything else was kind of selfish. Oh, and Grambling. Rambling. Because they haven't earned the G yet. Rambling. I think Grambling is the team that if they can get it all together, it's a team you don't want to see. Because even against Bethune, if anybody go watch the game, they're moving the ball up and down the field, and it's always some boneheaded play, some boneheaded drop, some boneheaded turnover that flips the field for Grambling, and they get themselves caught up in a situation till you're like, yo, how are you here? Or why are you down? Or why are you not at scored? Or why it's just all those little things. And I think from what I've been hearing from players from the team, I think Hugh Jackson is going to have to scale it down just a tad because from what I've been hearing is he has an NFL level playbook. It's thick as I don't know what, and the verbiage is long, but you're thinking about like you cannot bring that type of style where kids got school, study hall, it's not a profession. I don't spend every day thinking football. And I think that is going to be a problem for dang Corey Fields is bad. That's going to be a problem for Grambling going forward. I want them to I want him just to kind of bring it down, just scale it down just a little. Go ahead.
What did you think about him taking the G?
I don't have a problem with it. I really, because they haven't been playing. I mean, like, I'm so sorry. Like, they have, and honestly, even though I think a little bit falls on Hugh Jackson with the coaching, they just don't make plays. That's it. It's the players are not making plays. And the issue to me, if I was Hugh Jackson, when I'm walking, I'm like, listen, man, I don't give a damn if you a senior, a fifth-year senior, a junior. I'm playing Bamas who make plays. Like, I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn if it's a high school kid, a senior. I'm going to play whoever is going to make plays. And I think he has to push that message in his team because you got players out there who just not making plays. I mean, and I'm just talking about drops and fumbles and all type of foolishness, man. It's just make plays, but go ahead.
You know, I said last night, I don't have a problem with it, but for me, I feel like Q's panicking a little bit. What I mean by that is I think he's reaching for something because he understands that his players aren't playing up to his expectations, and he's tried everything else to motivate them. So you committed to the G because their thing is like commit to the G or whatever, you know, play for the G. So if I take that away, is that going to embarrass you? Is that going to make you play harder? Is that going to make you focus a little bit more on film study? And I just don't think he expected this, Scotty. I think if you asked you SWAC media day coming into the season that they were sitting where they are, giving up 60 to Jackson State, a loss to Bethune, a loss, you know, starting out the way they did, 58-3 loss to Arkansas State. I don't think he says that. I think there's a little bit of panic in his mind, seeing how good some of these other teams have happened to be, seeing the fact that right now I don't think his team's as good as Prairie View on paper and hasn't been this season. I think he understands his team's probably not as good as Texas Southern. It's definitely not as good as Alcorn. I think there's a little bit of panic in there, and I think him taking the G was him showing that just a little bit.
I agree, Blue, 1,000%. Because let's be real. You know what starts creeping in the back of your mind? I've been losing in the NFL. I wasn't very successful at Tennessee State being offensive coordinator. I come down to Grambling. I'm not being as successful as I thought I would be. I think a lot of that stuff is kind of, you know, you don't say it, but it's brewing in the back of your mind like, can I do this? You know what I'm saying? Can I really do this? And I'm not saying he can't because I think he has talent on that team, a lot of it, but you just need some guys to make plays. And I'm sorry. I know I keep picking on this kid, but that J.R. Waters is not it. I'm sorry. Like listen, I try to, and I'm not as professional as you, Blue, so I don't know how to say it professionally that, you know, he's not the answer, but God, dog, that boy is not the answer. And he keeps throwing him out there like, hey, make a play for me when you have a stud like Fazion Wilson just sitting on the bench. It doesn't make sense to me. So I don't feel any like, oh man, Hugh, no, because you keep playing this kid and he ain't that good.
They also got to get healthy. The fact that we're going into week 5 and Maurice Washington has 11 carries on the season is ridiculous.
His body, man. I don't know, you know, and let's be real. You know, I've talked to some HBCU guys and they say nutrition is a big issue down there. You know, he probably wouldn't be having this issue at Nebraska. So I think it is a nutrition issue, but man, I can't rock with it. I cannot rock with it. All right, let's get to another hot topic, Blue. You know it was coming sooner or later. Shadour's Heisman race, right? The Heisman of Shadour. And before we get into that, I want to give people some South Carolina State's defense is doing all they can. I want to give people, they're like overplaying for Corey Fields. It's ridiculous because he's awful. I want to give people some background. These are former Walter Payton Award winners, all right? And somebody said that Shadour is a Jimmy G comp, which I didn't think wasn't too bad of a comp. I really don't. 2013, he had 4,700 yards, 51 touchdowns, 9 picks, right? In 2022, Eric Barrier, you know, that's Blues guy, 5,000 passing yards, 47 touchdowns, 8 interceptions in 13 games. And we all know Aaron McNair, the standard of HBCU quarterbacking. I believe the last HBCU player to win the Walter Payton Award was 5,377 pass yards, 47 touchdowns, 909 touchdowns in 12 games. Blue, realistically, does Shadour have a chance to win the Heisman?
No, I mean, but listen, I get it. I just want to say this: people took me saying that it's not going to happen as I wouldn't like to see it happen. If you cover FCS football, why wouldn't you want that? Because if Shador can be considered, Scotty, that opens up the next Eric Berrier. That opens up the next Cole Kelly. Like, I wish FCS players were considered more, because let me just say, Cooper Kupp deserved to be in the Heisman race his last year at Eastern Washington. I don't know if anyone has went and looked at those stats.
Ridiculous.
I mean, dude, he broke like half of Jerry Rice's records in that season. And also, the other person, I don't know if you know this, Scotty, back in the 80s, I'm blanking on the guy's name. There was a Holy Cross player who played both ways and special teams, who finished 5th in the Heisman race one year and 3rd the next year. He's the only FCS player, I believe, to finish in the Heisman top 5 twice in back-to-back years.
You said what year?
Holy Cross. He played at Holy Cross.
I'm not seeing a Holy Cross. I see
Got you. Hang on.
In 88, I see Dave Maggot for Maggot in 88 and 89, Idaho.
I'm about to looking it up real quick, because BJ sent it to me. I'll look it up after I finish. But the biggest thing for me is the problem. I think the problem a lot of FCS fans are having with it. Yes, Gordy Lotbaum. The problem a lot of FCS people are having is that Shador right now isn't even leading the Walter Payton race.
Yeah.
So listen, there's no chance he's going to win the Heisman. There's no chance he's going to be invited as a finalist. And right now, it's not even a guarantee he's even the Walter Payton Award winner. But I do want to give you this, Scotty. The reason I do think the conversation is important is because, like I said, it opens up the next avenue for the next FCS superstar. And I'm glad that Prom is using his voice for that. And also, I think there is like an underlying motive behind this. And let me just kind of throw it at you and see what you think. Prom's always someone who is looking to achieve the next thing, right? He never wants to just keep achieving the same thing over and over. What happens if Shador wins to Walter Payton this year and has 2 years left in college? What's next for him to do, Scotty?
Oh man, I think the last person to win it back to back was the dude from Appalachian State.
Yeah. He's the last dude to win it back to back. So I think he's setting it up where if Shador wins to Walter Payton, he wants another goal for Shador to emerge and that be a possibility. And I also think that can go hand in hand with he's starting to mention a lot more. If you've noticed in the interviews, he keeps mentioning that money about the playoffs and he keeps bringing up the rankings. I think he's trying to work the NCAA to be like, listen, we need to fix this. That way, if I go undefeated and win the Celebration Bowl back to back, I have a something to do for Shador's senior year.
Now that's a smart play, Blue. If you can maneuver the NCAA to come in and revamp the FCS playoffs where there's money involved in even just making it to the top 24, making it, and then having like a cash reward or whatever, or they don't have to pay the NCAA the ticket and all that type of stuff. That's leveling the playing field.
Facts.
That's, to me, now you're talking about one man changing the whole aspect of FCS football to now where HBCUs are okay if they don't make it to the Celebration Bowl. If my schedule is good enough, I can slide right up in there and make money in that aspect as well. And to me, that's game changing. That's absolutely game changing.
I really do think that's the reason. And I think it always gets kind of overlooked because we've always talked about Deion doesn't go out there and just say anything just to say it. For the most part, there's always something. And I've really been thinking about this hard about what is the reason that this has been a real topic for him. And I really do think that it's just him trying to open up an avenue for the next goal for Jackson State, for Shador, for himself, and for his team. And there's nothing wrong with that. And I've talked to some people, and I wish more coaches would take the Prom approach and start Heisman campaigns. Eastern Washington did a small one for Eric Berrier, but Eastern Washington doesn't have near the clout of what Jackson State has. But Fordham, even though they don't have the clout, it should be hashtag Tim DeMorat for Heisman. Mm-hmm. If you're Monmouth, it should be hashtag. I'm blanking on the Jaden Sheridan for Heisman. It should be hashtag whoever. And I'm glad that he's speaking out, man. But I think everyone knows right now he's not going to win the Heisman. Let's just be honest.
Yeah, we all right. We know that. And, hashtag Andrew Body for Heisman. You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? Since we hashtagging, let me go hashtag my man, Andrew. Andrew Body! That would be the best Heisman. Listen, his body, hashtag body. Yeah, come on, man. Body for Heisman. But no, but I do like that, Blue. That's a great play because how did Jimmy G get on the map? Well, having great statistics and then having a killer playoff run. You know what I'm saying? The Trey Lances, the Carson Wentz, those type of runs in the playoffs, they do big things because one thing about, I know I talked to BJ about this. I talked to another coach. He said there's nothing that speaks louder to an NFL team to know a quarterback showed up on a 1-win game. Like it's win or go home, and you showed up and played big and kept your team going throughout the playoffs. So there's nothing that. But I think if Deion can speak and make that NCAA reevaluate themselves and add some money to that, that's a.
And real quick, here's what made me think of it, and this is why it's important. When the Power Five ultimately comes together and breaks away from the NCAA is going to need another moneymaker. And it's going to take them putting resources into the FCS, and it's going to take someone with the voice and influence of Prime to be the spokesperson for the FCS. And I've said this since I've stepped into this space that everyone's got to stop thinking of it's HBCUs versus FCS. Everybody here is still FCS at the end of the day. And so if it takes someone like Prime to bring it all together and advocate for everyone's behalf, and then that way he can bring in the North Dakota States, the South Dakota States, and the FCS can stop hemorrhaging teams, man, it could be extremely interesting. And I think the FCS has had some great coaches. Let's just be, listen, the Eddie Roberts says there's been some historical coaches at the FCS. Nobody has had the voice and influence of Prime in this space yet. And it might just take that. It might take him pushing over the domino for the whole series of dominoes to fall over finally.
Now, okay, now, Blue, now we move into, let's keep this going. Let's keep this going, right? Does he leave? Because to me, if I have a shot to go to a national championship and I'm making money,
I'm telling you,
I become Nick Saban of the
exactly. And what happens when Jackson State can start playing in the playoffs? If it becomes financially viable, I've talked to Zoe, I've talked to Jackson State fans. If it becomes more financially viable than the Celebration Bowl, get your auto bid back and start sending teams to the playoffs. And then what happens, man? If he goes on a streak and wins like 3 straight FCS national championships. Now
I see. Now we're in a topic of legacy. Now we're in a topic of historical statute, because now those national championships, now they make sense. Now you're taking HBCU football to a whole nother arena. I can get behind that wholeheartedly, because that is where you build. That's where you build that dominant North Dakota State program, and Jackson State looks like that. Then you don't need to leave. You don't have to go outside and play another game that you probably won't win. You can stay right here, dominate it as long as you want to dominate it for, and keep the HBCU relevancy, and then make that, man, that's big.
Now let me throw something at you. If the NCAA does this, let's just think a few years down the line. If this happens, how legendary would a North Dakota State, Jackson State back and forth be? You could put it right there with the Alabama Clemsons, the Alabama Georgias now, the back in the day with the USCs, Oklahomas, everything. Just imagine that back and forth if the NCAA started putting actual resources into the FCS.
No, listen, and now you're bringing a bigger, oh man, now you're really preaching Blue, because now you're bringing in a bigger market when it comes to TV dollars. You know what I'm saying? Now you have a headline matchup of a 12, 13-time national champion with Deion Sanders leading a 2-time national champion, or a 1-time national champion, or first-time national champion. Like, you're really now you're playing that's big time ball. That's big time ball. And I think if you add that same aspect to the MEAC with the Damon Wilsons, who's used to playing in playoff systems at Bowie State, South Carolina State with Buddy Pugh winning a couple playoff games. Now that HBCU football is, it's not looked at as lower class. It's not looked at as, because now your schedule has to compete to get to back to where you want to go and things like. I love it, man. I absolutely love it. And I would still, if I'm being honest, I would still keep the Celebration Bowl. If some way you could keep that and make it work, or however,
please invite the Ivy Leagues. Get them off the couch and have the Ivy League play somebody. I'm begging. I'm so, because the Ivy League does so well in out of conference. and let's just be honest. I don't know if people have really went and watched like a Harvard Yale game. For big games, those fans show out. Like it is a big deal. It's like the history behind a Harvard Yale rivalry and things like that. The problem is they're just so committed to academics, and it also doesn't make sense financially for them to compete in the postseason, just like the SWAC and MEAC. So I would love to see the Celebration Bowl stay too, because Scotty, I talked about this last night. Because someone asked me why the Celebration Bowl has been so successful, in my opinion, as an outsider. And you got to look at all the factors that went right with them planning it. They get a great TV deal on ABC on a prime channel that everyone has. You get a weekend where you get to kick off bowl game weekend. Everyone has a week off of college football and are fiending for that next game. And so even average fans are going to tune in. And also, I said, every year you've had an HBCU blue blood make it, or a big storyline to follow. You've had the A&T dynasty. You've had Alcorn with all the talent that they had. You had even Central make it that one year to go up against some of the Grambling dynasties. Every year you've had some big news. And then this past year, South Carolina State, Jackson State, and Prom, man, everything went right for the Celebration Bowl over these first few years.
Absolutely. Especially that underdog matchup with the South Carolina State, Jackson State. That was absolutely huge. Man, I think, and I like what Zoe said about there's so many teams looking to make that jump to Power 5 from FCS to Power 5 because of the money, just to be in a lower level bowl game, just to get that easy money, that the NCAA has to they have to stop the bleeding somewhere, because they know they can't control the higher levels, like you said. So you got to go to you got to go to, like, it's like that second cousin. You're like, hey man, we usually don't talk, but we still family. You know what I'm saying? We still family. And you look it out. Man, I would love to have that aspect. Now,
you are the only participant in the conference.
What I would really like though is have, if you did invite the Ivy League to the Celebration Bowl or have them involved in it some way, make it like a playoff system. Like, you know what I'm saying? If whoever didn't make it and you just have your own little playoff system based with MEAC, SWAC, take the top 4 teams or however you want to do it. I think that'd be a dope concept. Because now you're bringing in donor dollars from a big brand as Howard, Yale's, and Colgate's and whatever else, whoever, Brown and all them up there. So, man, Blue, you preaching today, bro. They need to get you on the committee. You need to be on the FCS committee, not the poll. You need to be on the committee, like make it.
Someone commented on one of the I think it was my live last night or one of the last ones. They were like, you should get the NCAA commissioner on for an interview. And I was like, y'all are way over measuring the clout I have behind this channel. Like, we're trying to just get to 5K subscribers. Like, I don't have the commissioner's phone number, man.
Oh man, listen, man. Hey, listen. It's possible, bro. But hey, listen, we're gonna take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back. And
get your pickup orders at the same time as your prescriptions at Walgreens.
When we invest in ourselves, we're investing in what's next for all of us. Growing, creating, making moves that move us all forward. Together, we are Black beyond measure.
You just gave us all a brand new iPhone 13.
We've been customers for years.
We got iPhone 13s too. Switched 2 minutes ago, literally right before this.
iPhone 13 on us on any unlimited plan for every customer, with plans starting at just $35. All on the network more people rely on.
better get you a GMC.
When did you get sponsored by GMC, bro? What is that? They better send you a free truck.
I've been waiting. Don't listen. Don't get me on. Listen, don't get me on. Because I've been waiting. They supposed to be sending me over an off script. I ain't even gonna lie to you. So I'm waiting. I'm definitely waiting. All right, look at and don't be counting my pockets, bro. You over there with FanDuel and what else you got?
DraftKings.
With DraftKings, don't be counting my pockets. You know what I'm saying? Don't be counting my pockets. Come on, man, stop it. All right, let's get to some week 5. Let's get to some week 5 matchups. All right. No, before we do that, I'm sorry. Before we do that, I want to talk about let's do the quarter season awards. All right, we're gonna do some quarter season awards. All right. So in these quarter season awards, guys, what we're doing is for each individual team, I should have mixed them up. I didn't mix them up. I apologize. Anybody from the MEAC on here, I apologize. I did not mix them up. All right. So we're gonna do the SWAC teams. For each individual team, we're gonna pick the offensive player of the current right now, the defensive player, and a sleeper on that team. All right. First up, all right, UAPB. All right, Blue. Give me your offensive MVP first, and then I'll go the defensive and then sleeper.
I like Kayvon Britton, man, the running back. He's been electric this year. Just looking, man, over almost 400 yards rushing, 6 touchdowns, over 6 yards per carry. He's averaging almost 100 yards per game. I got questions about their quarterback play, but Kayvon Britton's going to keep them in some games, and that might keep UAPB from finishing last in that division, man. He has been electric, so I'm gonna go with him as my offensive MVP.
I'm gonna go defensive, then you go sleeper. And then we'll flip out on the rest of them. Defensive MVP to me. Oh man. They have a DN, and I don't know his name. He showed up in the Oklahoma State. Now I feel really bad because I don't even know the kid's name. They have a DN that showed up in the Oklahoma State game and also showed up in the Alcorn game. Played really well. Dang, I cannot remember his name right now. I feel really bad. But you know who you are. All right? You know who you are. Shout out to him, the DN for Oklahoma. I'm gonna get it. Listen, I'm gonna look it up. You could go Peppers, but Peppers, he's been okay. He hasn't really been like special, but it's a D, and I'm gonna look him up while Blue's doing his sleeper pick for UAPB.
Oh man, I like Javon Gray as my sleeper. He's someone on that D line that I think doesn't get a lot of credit because listen, they get Monroe Beard, they get a lot of those edge guys that get a lot of the credit. Javon Gray this year, 10 total tackles, a tackle for loss, and a sack so far, 3 QB hurries. I think he's been an integral piece for that front four right now. So I'm gonna go with him as my sleeper because I don't think a lot of people knew who he was coming into this episode.
Probably, I think his name might. I don't know. It might be Mark Fleming. I don't know. I'm gonna have to go back and look it up. But I had that kid. I was watching it when I was watching Alcorn. I was like, damn, this kid is really good. All right. Next up, offensive MVP for me. Definitely has to be. I want to go. I gotta go Musa. It's just simple. You need a quarterback in this league. All right. You absolutely need a quarterback in this league. Musa has played well. And from Albany to Alabama A&M. So I'll go Jeremy Musa for this one. Blue defensive MVP.
Isaiah Major. Nothing else needed to be said on that one.
And my sleeper, he's not really a sleeper, but listen, Shareed, man, he's a monster. He does it all. I know X gets a lot of the credit, but I think Shareed is a super dynamic guy, punt return, wide receiver. You can line him up in the backfield. I don't think they used him enough in the backfield as well, maybe on some jet sweeps and things like that. So absolutely my sleeper, definitely Shareed. You already know it. Start it off for me, Blue. Start it off for me.
It's got to be Body, right?
Andrew Buddy!
Listen, the one thing I will say though is he's had his moments. He's just got to be more consistent, man. If you can get the Andrew Body that played against Southern and played at times against UTSA last week, man, Texas Southern would be hard to beat. It's just you don't get the same Andrew Body week in and week out. I just need him to be more consistent, but he's got to be the offensive MVP right now.
Defensive MVP, to me, it was between
give it to my guy.
It's Zay. It's Zay. It's Isaiah Hamilton. It's Isaiah. It's Zay. Man, listen, that kid is a bona fide pro. You can't. I don't know if you could put him as a sleeper because a lot of people don't know about him. I was gonna go Tariq Cooper as defensive MVP and then go Isaiah Hamilton as a sleeper. But
that's fair.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because he, a lot of people don't know about him. But yeah, Zay, man, that kid different. If you haven't seen him in action, oh my God. That boy is smooth when it comes to backpedaling, and he plays like Richard Sherman. So if you don't understand what I'm saying is he plays in a 3 technique, like in a cover 3 technique mostly all the time. He can still man you up, but he plays in a bail technique and he never panics. It's just smooth, man. It's just, I got to do a breakdown video on him. It's smooth. Go ahead.
For the sleeper, I like Derek Morton. They had a big hole coming in.
Oh, he's good.
Yeah, they had a big hole coming in terms of wide receiver coming into this year. They lost their top 2 wide receivers. I think Morton has the ability to be that big play threat on the outside, and as long as he just keeps developing at that wide receiver 1 spot, him and Andrew Body are going to be a terrifying duo moving forward.
Yeah, and they need solid wide receiver play because they had some big drops against UTSA, and I think Andrew just needs a guy that he can throw it up to. You know what I'm saying? Like just a 6'4", 6'5" guy, a Shaq Davis that when he's in trouble, he can just throw it up to and get those big plays. On you, Blue, offensive MVP.
Oh, no, that's all on you. I had the sleeper.
Oh, you
last
did?
time. Yeah.
Ja'Cory Merritt. I can't even go Demetrius Davis. I got to go Ja'Cory Merritt as the offensive MVP for Alabama State. He's been more consistent across the board in showing up in big games. So Ja'Cory Merritt for me is offensive MVP in the first 4 games of the season.
I got to go with Irshad. I mean, listen, you can go Bubba potentially, but his injuries concern me. I think Irshad is the leader of the team. I understand the middle linebacker is supposed to be the guy, but man, Irshad Davis has earned this MVP. I believe he's second on the team in tackles. He's still right up there with tackles for loss. His ability to cover and play in the box is something that you can't teach. I'm going with Irshad Davis as the defensive MVP.
My sleeper, and you probably gonna know who I'm talking about, it's the freshman corner that had a pick in Howard. Yeah. That kid is going to be a problem if Blue could probably find his name for me. So whatever that kid's name is that had a pick against Howard, really great young guy.
Adrian Maddox.
Adrian Maddox. Thank you, King. All right, and y'all did at the same time. Adrian Maddox. That kid is good. All right, so that is my sleeper pick for Alabama State. Adrian Maddox. Hey, you keep doing what you're doing, my guy.
He's already got 2 this year. He had a pick last week too.
Yeah, that kid's good. That kid's different. That kid is absolutely different. Listen, I gotta agree with Ms. Sykes. If South Carolina State had a quarterback, this game would be very much so different. And Spencer Rattler is not looking like an NFL draft pick. I just want to say that.
He's terrible.
Oh man. And he said he had a pick at UCLA too. So hey, that kid.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, my bad. I've read the games. It was UCLA. My bad.
So on you, offensive MVP.
Can I say nobody?
That's fair. I mean,
Grambling doesn't have an offensive MVP. The quarterback's been inconsistent. Their best player on offense has been. I can't give a dude offensive MVP on 11 carries, even though he's had 3 touchdowns. Grambling needs to fix the offense. No MVP for Grambling. They don't deserve it.
Who's the linebacker that you like, Blue? That's the guy I want to go with on this one.
Oh, Spence? I think it's Spence. Yeah.
Spence for my defensive MVP is simple. Sadada is not having a great season at all. I mean, it's just like sad.
Josh Reed could be a consideration too. Josh Reed's had a pretty good year at that. I think he plays like the star position.
Yeah, I like your guy a little bit more. I've seen him make more impactful plays than Josh Reed. And listen, let's be honest, what Wilkerson did to that boy in the hole, I still haven't recovered from that. That was nasty. Okay, he hit him with that boom bop in the phone booth. Ha ha, where you at? I'm gone. So sleeper, Blue.
I think it's Chris. I believe it's Daydry is how you pronounce it. He was a transfer from Alcorn, the defensive back. He's approaching 20 total tackles, has 2 pass breakups, a big forced fumble. He's number 20 on the defense. I think he's the sleeper. I think people forget about him due to the big names at the top. Sundiata, the guys you mentioned. I think he's my sleeper right now.
All right, absolutely. All right, going next, offensive end. Nobody. I gotta go nobody on this one because they don't score points. I mean, they really don't. I mean, so how can you have offensive MVP? You don't score points. So this is a bad one. Nobody for me.
As soon as you pulled it up, I knew now that I didn't give Grambling one, I was like, oh no, they ain't getting an MVP either.
Quarles, hell no. He had one good game. No.
Gary Quarles is averaging 2.8 yards per carry this year.
Man, stop it. Stop it.
I guess for defensive MVP,
What, carry on?
I'm gonna go with Zarion Hayes.
Yeah, carry on. That's how
Number 4, the defensive end. Thus far, 13 tackles, 5.5 for loss, a sack. He also has a pass breakup, 2 forced fumbles. I think he's the best player on the defense by far. The problem is I don't think he has I don't know. I don't know where to put A&M right now, but listen, Zarion Hayes deserves his MVP on this team.
No, I agree. My sleeper is Moses Douglas, the safety. Absolutely love his physicality. Absolutely love the way he plays. I've been talking about him, number 11, if you don't know who that is. I've been talking. He's a transfer from Kentucky. I've been talking about that kid since the spring. I saw that boy hit this dude. I was like, I felt like I was his parents. I was like, sir, no, stop it. That hurt. All right, so Moses Douglas, number 11, is definitely my sleeper when it comes to Alabama A&M. And I think anything, their offensive MVP, probably the defense. If I'm probably the whole defense is the offensive MVP for Alabama A&M. So on you, Blue.
I guess Shador. That was the easiest one. I'm gonna go Shador. I mean, when you're number 2 in the Walter Payton Award race right now, it's got to be you.
Yeah, defensive MVP. I know a lot of people would probably want me to go Niles Gaddy, but I have to go Cam. I know I'm probably on the only Cam bandwagon guy for defensive player of the year, and I think he is the defensive MVP of this team as of right now. In the first 4 games of the season, I have to give it to Cam. Definitely Cam.
Oh, the sleeper. I don't know if there's a sleeper. I mean, Jackson State gets so much attention that it's just like even the backups are known. If I had to pick a sleeper though, this is gonna sound crazy, Scotty, because no one talks about him. Can I give it to Devontae Davis?
I love him. You know me. I think he's the best player on the D-line.
The fact that he gets 0 credit for what he does for that defensive line, a lot of Gaddy sacks are due to him taking up so much on the inside. I mean, when you talk about run stuffer, when all you want your defensive tackles to do is take on 2-3 guys, and man, he can just wipe out a whole offensive line when he's really on. I mean, he is dominant. So man, I'm going with Devontae. I'm going with Devontae because no one gives him his due.
Man, I said it from the beginning. I was like, hey, Devontae Davis is probably the best guy on the D line, but nobody wanted to hear me when I said that. But all right. Offensive MVP to me is Jared Sims. Even though he hasn't been given the production, what he did at LSU alone, to me, he is the offensive MVP of that team, point blank, period. It's Gerard Sims for me. So Gerard Sims, running back.
I don't mind that. I think if they actually committed to running the football like they should, he could have. I don't know, man. I don't know where Southern's offense makes me upset. I'm going with my guy Corian Harris though for defensive MVP. I told y'all he was coming. Leads the team in tackles as a corner, which is sad because that just shows that. Never mind. 16 total tackles, a tackle for loss. Already has a pick. He's been the leader of the defense. Corian Harris is my defensive MVP for Southern.
My sleeper for Southern is going to be a weird one, and he hasn't had a lot of production because he has a bad quarterback, but it's going to have to be Petrie, the guy they bought from Rice. Listen, that kid is explosive. If they can get him the ball and you can show his attributes, I think he could be a top 5 receiver in the SWAC. So Petrie to me is definitely a sleeper for Southern University if they can find a way to get him the ball. That's on you, Blue.
Oh, I'm just going to give it to Caleb Johnson because that's my guy. So Caleb Johnson, congratulations. The best running back on, I don't know, Caleb.
That's fair. The fifth is Ronnie Thomas. It's just that easy. Ronnie Thomas is just.
He might be the offensive MVP too. Just give him all the MVPs and the sleeper.
Yeah. It's Ronnie Thomas. He's everything. He's everything. Sleeper, what you got, Blue?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm just not gonna get. I don't know. The whole team's sleepwalking right now through the year.
Wow.
It's tough.
Caleb Alexander, number 28 from Valley, the one who got the one-handed pick on Shador. I will give you that, my guy. Shout out to you, Caleb Alexander.
Shout out to him.
Shout out to you. You are the sleeper for the first 4 games of Valley.
Someone in the comments said they're getting beat to sleep. The whole team's a sleeper.
Who said that? Oh,
King. He said the boys getting beat to sleep.
yeah, y'all boys petty. Y'all boys petty, boy. I tell y'all petty. Hey, it's on me. Howard, come on, man. Howard, easy. Howard. Oh, man, come on. It's not even a question.
Yeah, I'm so impressed with him, man. I said it on my show, Scott. I don't know how you feel. There's a running back, Jaden Sheridan, who's averaging 12 yards a carry this year for Monmouth, and he leads FCS in rushing. But there's a conversation of Howard gets the carries. He can be. He's not going to win the Walter Payton, but he can be in the top 20 and be one of the finalists that gets included in the list and everything. I love what Dallas Daniels is doing, but there's an argument to be made that Howard deserves a newcomer of the year.
Oh, absolutely. If he keeps this production up, absolutely. I mean, he's everything for Alcorn. Like, think about that. He scored what, 4 touchdowns, 28. So it was 10 points. It was 10 points. And these weren't, these weren't like walk-in touchdowns. These are like, I'm breaking 3 or 4 or 5 tackles and I'm running for like another 20 yards. Like he looks like a Power 5 transfer. That's what that's supposed to look like, and he looks like it.
On the defense, though, it's Terrence Ellis, and it's not even close. Terrence Ellis has been a monster, man. 26 tackles, 5 for loss, 2.5 sacks, a pick, another pass breakup, a forced fumble. He's done it all for them. He's all over the field. It's easily Terrence Ellis, man. One of the best players on that Alcorn State defense.
What's his number?
Number 2.
Number 2. Okay. I'm going with number 44. Every time I watch this kid on television, he jumps off the screen. His get off the ball is unreal. So number 44 of Alcorn, you are my sleeper pick, my dude. You are
Malachi Bailey.
Man, that kid's get off and his speed is unreal, Blue. Like, man, I love watching that kid play. I love watching him on tape. Who else we got? But dude,
and even their best offensive player can't get this award because he didn't show up for he forgot the season started in August.
Oh, Kamari.
Yeah, I mean, because what he did, I don't think he had 1 catch for -3 yards week 1, if I'm not mistaken, and then I don't think he did anything big beforehand. Man, this is tough because, man, it could be Jalen because he's had some good performances, but he just hasn't.
Word.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I was talking through my I still think they're going to come down to who the quarterback is, but yeah, it's going to be Bird. He's the only offense. And listen, I'm talking straight to Kamari Everett. The performance has been atrocious, and I understand the quarterback play has been bad. If you are going to realistically be an NFL draft pick, you got to turn it up. This is getting ridiculous, man. I'll put you as a first-team FCS All-American. And you might not even be a conference all conference player right now. I need better.
I just wanted to give you your I want to talk to you directly. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to give you that solo. All right. My defensive MVP is Darnell Dees. Man, I mean, he has really showed up at the defensive. And if I'm being honest, that was their weakest spot, in my opinion, was defensive back. He's shown up in big ways, kick return, picks, tackles. So Darnell Dees for me is my defensive MVP. Or he could have been a sleeper as well, but I'm gonna take my defensive MVP.
I think a lot of the people on the defense could be a sleeper because they had to replace so many people. Just across the board, especially in that front 7, you could give the sleeper to multiple people. But I'm gonna go Uriah Ratcliffe. I think he's got a lot of potential. Number 23, 8 tackles this year. He's in that secondary. He's a junior coming off of a big game, so I'm gonna go with him as my sleeper.
Too easy, I think. And last but not least, offensive MVP to me has to be Conley. It has to be Conley because watching the games, if he's not playing, they're not impactful. They're not as dynamic as they are with him, without him, as they are with him. So Conley, to me, even though I don't think he's like a great quarterback, I just think he makes that team. I really don't.
Now, I understand he's not a great like a great pocket passing quarterback, but I do think he's a playmaker where if you need a play made, like he can do it, and that's something that I'm taking because I don't think you can coach that.
No, I mean he makes plays. And if you build a system around him making plays, it works for you. So I'm not gonna, you know what I'm saying? Like, cool. If Demetrius Davis could give me like a fifth of what Conley gives PV, I would be very, because they literally have the same type of style, like run first offense, athletic quarterback, just play better. But defensive MVP, who you got?
Real quick, Miss Angie, I'm mad because I said he was the best tight end in college football, and this dude went out there and gave me 1 catch for -3 yards against Miami, who just gave up 45 points to Middle Tennessee State. That's why I'm angry. That's why I'm angry. That's just too much. But
and them South Dakota State fans, they probably gonna be at your neck because you put him over.
Well, Tucker Kraft got hurt. And I don't know if you saw this. Zach Hines, the backup tight end, put up almost 200 yards receiving for South Dakota State this past weekend against Missouri State.
Woo!
Yeah, they're deep at tight end, but it's Tariq Mulmore, number 33, over 31 tackles already, Scotty. Fumble recovery, forced fumble, has also blocked a kick on special teams. I'm going with Mulmore as my defensive MVP.
I don't think this guy's a sleeper, but I don't think, he gets as much credit as he deserves in this Troy, was it Troy James, Troy Vincent, Troy something?
Yeah.
That kid,
Troy James.
Oh, he's a freaking monster. Dog, that Bama is a problem, okay? He is a problem on that front line. So Troy James, man, keep doing what you're doing, my boy. That dude, you shouldn't be a sleeper, but I got to put you somewhere. So, boy, you a problem. Absolute problem. All right, week 5 matchups. Before we get into this movie, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back.
Get your pickup orders at the same time as your prescriptions at Walgreens.
When we invest in ourselves, we're investing in what's next for all of us. Growing, creating, making moves that move us all forward. Together, we are Black beyond measure.
You just gave us all a brand new iPhone 13.
We've been customers for years.
We got iPhone 13s too. Switched 2 minutes ago, literally right before this.
iPhone 13 on us on any unlimited plan for every customer, with plans starting at just $35. All on the network more people rely on.
That is professional grade GMC. Make sure you go get yourself a truck. All right, week 5 matchup. You get on my nerves. All right, we go to week 5 matchups. Blue, what's some matchups that you're looking forward to? And who's your game of the week, Blue?
I mean, I got the Campbell NCCU game as one of my games of the week, and then Richmond Elon's a top 25 matchup that I'm extremely excited to see between 2 really good teams. But with these 3 matchups, man, I think Yale's running away with this one, man. Yale is too good at all 3 levels of the defense. They run the ball extremely efficiently, and up until Howard gets a quarterback, I can't ever pick them. And it's just I can't do it. Quentin has just been atrocious, and me and you both ate our words after that week 0 game. 0 chance I'm picking them to win this game. Yep. And also, the Ivy League is 10-2 in out of conference games this year.
God.
And so they're running through Howard. And also, just a reminder, Scotty, Howard also has to go play Harvard this year. And Harvard's even better than Yale. So if they lose this game, it's 0-2 for the Ivy Leagues. To the Ivy League for Howard this year. FAMU's running away over Valley. But, man, that PV Grambling game, I think in terms of SWAC games, this is my SWAC game of the week. This, I don't know how you feel. Is this a must-win for Hugh? Because I think it is.
Is it a must-win? I don't think it's a must-win, Blue. And the reason I don't think it's a must-win is because it's his first year. I tell you what's a must-win. UAPB Southern. That's a must-win. You cannot, and the way the way PV is looking, I don't think anybody will expect Grambling to win the game. You just want them to be competitive, which they have been. See, I think a lot of people, my issue is getting blanked by Texas Southern or being competitive with PV. I'll take being competitive with PV. Let's say PV beats you 28-17. I can live with that. You know what I'm saying? Because you're a young team and everything processing. I don't think it's a must win, though.
Man, I don't know. I guess they did come in with a lot of hype in terms of the polls, but it came in a lot of hype in terms of Hugh Jackson and bringing in all these transfers. And you're supposed to bringing back the G. If you lose to PV, Scotty, are we talking about they're competing with UAPB for the bottom of the West?
That's yeah. I mean, you could. Yeah.
Really and truly, it's going to be a huge loss, and by saying that, PV wins by double digits.
Listen, this is the PV and Grambling game to me. I want to be very clear when I say this. I think this game has more to do with coaching than talent, by far. Now, I do know that Grambling has a hard time stopping the run. Everybody knows that. Everybody's seen it. They have holes, but they are very, very one-dimensional. I don't care if you've seen Conley throw for 220 and they're one-dimensional team. And I think if Grambling can take away the run and put the game on Conley's back, you have a great chance of winning. Now, the other issue is this. Quintarius Hawkins ain't that good. And when he is good, his receivers are bad. So it's a catch-22. But I would, if I'm for real, if I'm Grambling, I'm watching that Alabama State PV game, and I'm trying to match a lot of what Alabama State did offensively in that game because it was open. A lot of it was open.
But really and truly, this is how I feel, Scotty. This is how uncertain I am about Grambling's offense because I think PV's defense is better than what they've seen for the most part up to this point, outside of probably Jackson State. I think if PV could score 24 points, Grambling has 0 shot.
I think Grambling could put up 24 points on PV. I do. I really do. I do.
I can't see it, man. Maybe we'll see. But listen, I picked PV last week over Alabama State, and they pulled that one out. I think right now when you're looking, they have a better playmaker at quarterback. They have a better defense, and right now they got more playmakers that are making plays. They might not have better playmakers on paper, but let's just be honest, Scotty. Their wide receivers are making more plays than Grambling's wide receiving core.
I agree. I'll tell you this. I think if Maurice Washington plays, they get over 21 points.
I agree with that. I just don't trust him to be because we've been hearing he's coming back and healthy week after week, and then he has 1 or 2 explosive runs, and then he disappears again.
That's true. Listen, if I'm Grambling, however you want to. Whatever you want to call them. This will be, oh man. If you watch the Alabama State game, off tackle runs work against Alabama State. Isolating Urshad in space, like wide receiver or a quick guy works. Oh, he's not on. I'm bugging. I'm so sorry. Because we're talking about PV, so not Urshad. Yeah, Jesus. I hate this. It's a winnable game. It's very much so a winnable game. Let me just say that for Grambling. And I think it's going to come down more to coaching. And this is my thing. Okay, if I'm Grambling, I'm watching the UIW game. I know I don't have a Lindsey Scott. I know that. But I'm definitely, this boy Nix is different for South Carolina State. I'm watching the UIW game for the defensive alignment. I'm watching the Alabama State game for some of the defensive alignment. And offensively, I'm really watching UIW because, and what I showed in that game plan of SWAC bad play calling, Hugh Jackson has to throw 20 smoke routes. He has to. The worst part of PV's defense are their DBs. Their front seven, legit. Their DBs, not so good. And when you're playing 10 yards off, that's 3 or 4 yards a gimme. So you got to work that system. If Hugh Jackson does not do that, you deserve to lose and you deserve to get whatever you desire to get. Whatever you desire to get.
Now let me ask you, because I know how I feel about it. Does Grambling have a wide receiver that is as good as the top 3 wide receivers for Incarnate Word? Because I don't think they do.
I like Rash. I like Rash a lot. Number 10. If anybody doesn't know that, it's number 10.
Oh, Shaq is balling. Shaq is balling.
Oh, you must be ahead of me.
Listen, I'm in a hotel, so I got the direct cable.
Yeah,
I ain't streaming.
I'm about to say you must be ahead of me. Let me see.
He underthrew it, but he still made it.
Yeah.
What a hell of a play.
Yeah, I like Rash. I like Rash, and that's the sad part about it. He makes the biggest plays, but he will also have one of the biggest drops. You know, J.R. Waters just drops. Like, it ain't no big drop. It could be you could sweep it to him. He would drop that. You know what I'm saying? Like, he just be dropping. But when it comes to Rash, he makes plays. He goes up against the ball. He'll grab it. He'll snatch it. So I like Rash, but nah, they're not. And first of all, they don't have a Lindsey Scott who can, pick you apart. You know, however you want to do it. And I think listen. This should be my game plan. I'm putting Lamborghini on the outside. I'm putting Pippins on the outside. I'm putting a lot of my speedy guys on the outside because we throwing smoke routes. We throwing wheels, bubbles, speed outs. Because if you're gonna give me 7 to 10 yards off, I'm taking the easy stuff and hopefully they can make a miss. But moving forward, Mike Reed has Valley over FAMU. He says it's an upset.
So does Zoe. Zoe in the chat. Mr. Campbell and him are going back and forth. Zoe has Valley beating FAMU too.
That's gonna be a one. Now this lineup of games I absolutely love. I absolutely love this lineup of games. Blue, go ahead, start off. Which one you want to go with? If you want to go with your game.
We'll go in order, man. With Texas Southern Alabama State, it's going to come down to which quarterback's consistent. Because both quarterbacks' best day is electric and could be amazing to watch. But sometimes when you get the other side of D. Davis and the other side of Andrew Bodyman, it could be ugly to watch.
Yeah.
And the offenses could really suffer. This is going to be a battle of which quarterback is more consistent. I trust Andrew Body more so than Alabama State. And I think that if Texas Southern's defense can force a turnover or two and just make it tough for Alabama State to move the ball, I think they can win this one in a big way. So I got Texas Southern squeaking this one out over Alabama State.
Oh my goodness. I love to hear it. I love to hear it. But you know me, I gotta go with my jinx picks. I gotta go with my jinx picks. I'm sorry, man. It's been working for me. Alabama State, I love me some Andrew Body! But I got to go with Alabama State on this one. I got to go with Alabama State on this one. 24-17. 24-17, Alabama State. All right, got to go with my jinx pick on this one. All right. Oh, yeah, let's go. Let's get it, Alabama State. Let's get it. All right. Oh, what's good?
I didn't make a prediction for this one because I'll be at the game covering it. But for me, with the weather clearing up, it really opens this up because I really wanted to see the quarterback battle between Davis Richard and Heisman Malik Williams. It is going to be so amazing to watch both of them try to make plays out the pocket, throw this ball downfield now that the weather looks like it cleared up a little bit. And man, the biggest question mark I have, Scotty, I'll get your thoughts on this, is NCCU has not faced a team that is as big and as physical at the line of scrimmage as Campbell is. A&T doesn't have that size at the line of scrimmage, and neither does the D2 and D3 teams that they played. So can NCCU win the line of scrimmage battle? If they do, they have a great chance to pull off this win on the road against Campbell. If they struggle with that defensive line, Brevin Allen, some of those interior defensive linemen they have, you could see NCCU really, really be in trouble this weekend against Campbell.
So it's twofold, right? When you're going against a big old line, you just hope that they don't power you to death. Because if they power you to death, double team, get into the linebacker, you're just going to be it's going to be for a long day for you. It's going to be a long day. So you hope they don't do that. You hope they go side to side, zone reads, so you can use your speed, slip through, and things like that. I'm excited to see how they counteract that because they might blitz. They might start doing a lot of blitzing. Try to keep everything like make that wall at the line so they don't get a push to get seams. They run blitz to kind of make that wall, make them bounce it outside and things like that. I'm excited to see what Davius Richards looks like going against this type of team and this type of defense that he's going to face. I'm excited to see how the front seven of North Carolina Central responds to that O-line. And listen, man, you got to show up in this game. I know you had back-to-back D2 matchups. This is listen, UNH, I'm not going to take nothing away from North Carolina Central. They went up there, showed out, and he looked like a freaking pro. You got to do it again. You just got to do it again. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you're a great team and you're on a great run, you have to show up every game and show why you're a great team. You know what I'm saying? That's the expectation now. So the expectation to me is that they're going to go forward and do this. Let me say this. Kirk Herbstreit, I'm gonna be at the game, so I can't call it. You know, okay, Mr. Kirk Herbstreit. I'm calling the game. I'm gonna jinx this one. I gotta go Campbell. I'm gonna go Campbell 30. I'm gonna go Campbell 35. North Carolina Central 28. I think it's gonna. I think it's gonna be up there. And is this gonna be on Flow Sports?
I think it might be on ESPN Plus actually now
because
they moved it.
Oh, thank you, Jesus. Because if it was on, I was about to be highly upset if it was on Flow Sports.
Let me double check though. Let's see. Fingers crossed on this one. Yeah, it's on ESPN Plus at 11 a.m. Central Time.
Let me ask you this though, Blue.
Mm-hmm.
NC comes in here, puts 45 on them like they put 45 on UNH. They win this game. What are you expecting to see from Jackson State when they meet up with Campbell? No score, just an expectation of what you want to see if North Carolina Central comes in, because that's the barometer now, because we're bouncing this, this transitive, because they both play in the same team.
The worst possible case for Jackson State is if Central goes into Campbell on the road and puts up a big performance and just wins convincingly, because it shifts all the pressure to Jackson State now, because now no one cares about that Campbell win in all actuality. And then two, if Jackson State doesn't look good and NCCU sitting at about 20 something, pollsters are going to be like, okay, so Jackson State's not a top 10 team. And they're going to start dropping. And so if Campbell goes in there and Central goes in there and puts it on Campbell, the expectation becomes Jackson State better put just as much of a beating on them as Central did, and especially because Central has to go on the road and do it, and that's going to be the expectation. But the expectation, if Campbell wins, man, Jackson State celebrating, because that win that's going to be huge. But if Central wins, I think Jackson State overlooks that Campbell game a little bit and says, okay, at least we have a potential to face an 11-0 Central team in the Celebration Bowl, and that might be a bigger deal than Campbell actually winning this game and looking good.
Okay, I love it. Now, could it be a possibility that? And I know this might sound bad, and people be like, like Sonic Boom, like F the posters, when they don't go their way, it's F the posters. When they go up, oh my God, we love you. They don't look as good. They still win. They don't look as good, but they still win. It's North Central blows them out. Jackson wins, but doesn't look good. And their schedule doesn't play. They're not playing any more ranked opponents. Could they continually keep dropping in the polls, even though they continue to win and other teams play better matchups?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I think Jackson State's not the only team that is like that. Holy Cross is too. If Fordham doesn't end up being ranked, Holy Cross isn't going to play a ranked team either. And same for NCCU. All those teams that don't play top 25 teams, all it takes is a team to upset a Montana State. All it takes is a team to upset a South Dakota, North Dakota State, and they're jumping people. And also, and this is what I talked about last night on my show, if Montana beats, let's say, Montana State by 3, are you arguing that Montana State should drop below Jackson State?
Mm-mm.
If South Dakota State upsets North Dakota State by 3, I don't know if those teams drop out of the top 5, to be honest with you. And so the problem is, even though these teams play each other in front of Jackson State, the fact of the matter is that since their schedules are viewed as so much better, that I mean, odds are they're probably still not going to drop below Holy Cross, Jackson State, NCCU, and off the top of my head, there's a few teams. Stephen F. Austin is going to run into some issues that they really don't play a tough schedule, and some of the ASUN schools are going to face the same issue, like an Austin P or someone like that.
Makes sense. All right, get the likes up. Like police sitting right here on my side. There me down. Get the likes up. Alabama A&M, Bethune-Cookman. A lot of people have, Kofi has this as his game of the week. A lot of people are very interested to see this game. Blue, what's your take on this one?
You want to talk about another must-win in the SWAC? And Connell Maynard, if you lose this game, it's a wrap.
Ooh.
On everything. I mean, it is going to. Scotty, what's the ceiling if they're sitting at 0-5?
Yeah,
with two division losses.
They're not going to run the table, so we can just count that a wrap right now. So
I mean, you're looking at 2-win season maybe.
And it's
who got them beating,
and it's their homecoming.
I mean, really, truly, who if they lose to BCU, who do you see Alabama A&M competing with?
Magic City Classic. That's it.
Maybe Valley.
Magic City Classic. Alabama State.
Okay, I mean that's 2. So what? 2 conference wins, maybe. I mean, listen, and this is what gets me. He was paid to win conference games, right?
Yeah.
He ain't winning those either. I mean, what's the excuse going to be in the press conference? If you were your excuse was you're not getting paid to win out of conference games, so it's like, okay, excuse us getting drugged for 3 consecutive weeks. but now you can't compete in the SWAC either. I don't understand, man. And the whole thing, after the game, getting upset at Willie, I get it. But here's what I said about it. I understand if it's Houston back in the early 90s, late 80s, where they're putting 97 on you. Yeah, I'd be a little bit upset. That's disrespectful. They were only up by like 13 or something like that. Why don't you stop me from moving the football? How about that?
How about that?
And I hate when coaches do that. It's like, maybe you should kneel out the clock. How about you put some players on the field that can stop me? How about that?
It is not my job to coach. Listen, it's not my job to coach your team.
Yeah, it's not my job to make your players feel better in the locker room. I want them to go to the locker room and be like, damn, bro, I hate playing this team. They're beating our ass right now. Like, that's what I want them to say when they go to the locker room. I want you to leave my locker room trash because we beat you that bad.
Yeah.
And that's the mindset I come from. So I hate that he acted like that. And listen, I'm going to pick them to win only because they have to win it. And I just 0-5 just sounds wrong with Alabama A&M. But if they lose this game, A&M has to take a long look in the mirror and say, what are we doing here? And they're going to have to make some serious changes this offseason. I'm talking about staff changes, bus driver changes, locker room everything. Everyone's got to. Everybody has to be evaluated at this point.
I'm not jinx picking this one, and I'm picking Bethune. And the reason I'm picking Bethune, and I believe it's going to be a very tough game. I'm not doing no blowouts or nothing. I think Alabama A&M's defense is legit. I do. I think that when you're not scoring offensively and your defense has to keep coming back out on the field on short fields, not everybody's Jackson State to lead you to field goals. You know what I'm saying? To end up getting field goals or whatever. So I think it's going to be a battle of a game. I just think Bethune knows who they are offensively, and Alabama A&M doesn't. All right, that's where it is with me. The QB situation, Cam, is simple. It's going to be X. It's going to be X, and I don't think he's a guy that. I just don't think he's the guy to win these type of games. It's just I think you have to throw the ball, and that's what Quincy Casey is for. But they don't believe in Quincy. I still believe in my boy Quincy. Quincy Casey. All right, so I got Bethune winning this one. 24-21. 24-21 is what I have.
Is Maynard on the hot seat if he loses this? In your opinion,
absolutely.
Like I mean, okay, like I get it. Us and the fans and everyone are going to say the hot seat. percent chance, like what does he have to hit before it's like, okay, he seriously could be fired at the end of the year?
Oh, no, he won't be fired. No, he won't be fired. Yeah.
See, I don't consider that the hot seat. That like the hot seat is for people like Brian Harsin, where they got they got a pen sitting on the desk waiting to sign you being fired.
Yeah, he's not. Nah. He can't get fired. Yeah. So I mean, I think the hot seat is the expectation of, because remember they came off a winning. They just had a winning season last year. You know what I'm saying? So let's not act like, you know, they had 2 losing seasons or they were 0-5. You know what I'm saying? So I think he's a hot seat because you're looking at him like, okay, you're supposed to be an offensive guy, and your offense is the worst part of this team, and your defense. And remember, we said it last year. If the defense could just give them something that this team would be a lot different, and they're giving them something, and offensively they still can't get the job done. So
he'll be on the hot seat going into next year, I think.
Absolutely.
Because
I agree.
Because then the conversation becomes what percentage was Akil, what percentage was that offense?
That's fair. And hey, listen, and what I was told is that Akil wasn't even recruited by Maynard and that staff. He was brought in by Willie Tyson right before he left. So really, Akil wasn't even theirs. Akil wasn't even their pick. So for what I was told, so that they just blocked the punt. Oh man! Oh, he touched it. He touched it. Yep. South Carolina State ball. So so he wasn't even his guy. So now it makes you look like, are you a quarterback whisperer? Because that wasn't your guy. You developed him. I gotta give you credit for that. You developed him, but can you find talent? You know what I'm saying? Can you find talent in the quarterback position? And for me, when it comes to Quincy Casey, I think that they're not. What's difficult is this. Not everybody is going to have offensive coordinators be swapped out for the benefit of that player. You know what I'm saying? So I want to know what it looks like overall. You know what I'm saying? Just like
the question becomes for me, though, because listen, I have a lot of respect for Maynard. I got a lot of respect for just the offensive staff. I mean, me and you both know a lot of people on that offensive staff. Like, we got personal relationships with them.
Yeah.
Do you go out and recruit what's your game plan? If this year goes south, you win 2-3 games at the most. Do you go out and recruit a quarterback for your system, or do you try to build an offense around the quarterbacks you already got in the room?
Nah, you got to go out and get a quarterback that's built for your system, because it's shown to me you can't change it up. You can't change your system. Now, don't get me wrong. I went back and watched the game. There are some great play calls that were called. If you go watch that FAMU, they had some great plays that were set up. Just that the guys missed them. You know what I'm saying? They just missed them. But you got to go find a guy, either one that's produced at a level that you're comfortable with and can fit into your system day one. I don't think.
So what happens to QC?
He has to transfer again. If I'm being honest, I'll transfer again. And my issue is, listen, I'm always going to be on the bandwagon. Go wherever you feel you have an opportunity to play, because it only can take 1 year for you to do something special. You know what I'm saying? Like, it happens. I'll transfer. Listen, transfer as much as you like. It's your life. It's your football career. I'll transfer as much as I have to be, because the issue with me is this, right? When Q jumped in the portal and he had the offers that he had, I didn't want him to stay in the SWAC. I'll just be honest like that. I wanted him to go Power 5. I wanted him to go to FBS. That was just FBS offers. I wanted him to go FBS, because to me it's like this. If you were going to go be a backup, why go be a backup at HBCU? If I'm going to be a backup, I'm going to be a backup where I can kick my feet up. I got nutritionists. I got hot tubs and jacuzzis and all type of fancy crap around me. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I want. You feel me? So, but you live and learn.
It's gonna be interesting, man. Because I like what Zoe said. I think this really speaks to the dynasties across the FCS, how impressive it really was for those coaching staffs, the App States. And let's just talk about Eastern Washington, dude. You're talking like 16 straight years of Walter Payton candidates coming through there, and Gunnar Talkington's top 10 right now in passing.
and he been sitting waiting for his opportunity.
Exactly. How hard is that to do? And let's even look at North Dakota State, from Easton Stick to Carson Wentz to Trey Lance to even Cam Miller right now. It might be a game manager, but he's still looking all right. And it's just like, man, do you know how hard it is to consistently do that in the FCS, man? And I think watching what has happened with Akil leaving and Alabama A&M struggling, man, I think it should give more people a perspective on how hard this really is to develop talent at the FCS level.
Especially, but at the same time, it's also finding guys like Gunnar Tarkenton that fits your system, that you believe, hey, if we get him in here the right way, or we get him and coach him up, he can do what we need him to do and have a good season, have a good year. My game of the week. Now listen, you want to know a definition of a must win? It's this one. It's this one, all right? If Southern comes out and loses this game to UAPB, I'm going to clown these Bamas till the cows come home. Do you hear me? Do you hear me? And if they don't put over 35 points up on this board, come on, man. Come on, man. This is a must win. This is beyond must win. Beyond must win, honestly.
Well, okay, so you said you need 35 plus points. What yardage do you need?
Nothing from the quarterback, honestly. Because I don't expect much. So if he goes for 150 and runs for 70, that's cool or whatever.
I don't think that. All participants are muted.
But they have to have at least over 330 yards of total offense. At least over 330 yards of total offense. Now, if you keep getting turnovers and you got short fields, I'm a smart enough man to understand that. But overall, with all this speed offense and Oregon, they try to run that Oregon ball, Chip Kelly offense, and you don't put up over 35 points. Oh, no, we got to have a conversation. You got to have a conversation.
I don't know how I feel about this one. Like, on paper, Southern should win this game by like 21 plus. But it's just, man, they look so bad against Texas Southern. But the reason I'm still going to ride with Southern, Scotty, is I don't believe in the quarterback play of UAPB like I do Andrew Body. And really and truly, I mean, that Texas Southern defense might have played their best game. I mean, how many years? In the past, at least 2. That was the best defensive game in the SWAC that Texas Southern played. So for me, I'm going to ride with Southern. I got them winning 35-21, Scotty.
35-21. That's not enough for me. That ain't enough. I don't know if you see the movie Friday when his mom hands him $1 and he's like, what is this? This ain't enough? And she's like, make it enough. Damn, like, no, that ain't enough. I need more. You cannot lose. You cannot beat UAPB by 14 points. You, with all that talent, defensively and offensively, you cannot beat UAPB by only 14 points. Nah, and have me respect what you're doing? Nah, I can't do it. Can't do it. I got Southern winning this game, and it needs to be like 42-14. Like, it got to be something ridiculous. For real. For me to believe it duly, all this, the prodigal son come back home, all this, he knows Louisiana, he knows New Orleans, he's a Pete Richardson Jr. senior son, like all that crap. You gotta blow these Bamas out.
I agree that they should, but I don't think they will.
Nah, bro. Nah, I can't rock with that one, Blue. Listen, I'm gonna be. Nah, bro. Nah, nah, bro. I'm holding Southern to a standard.
Okay, so what's your prediction for Southern this year? Right now,
they need to run through the West. Even if you lose to Jackson, because you listen, if you get beat to sleep by Jackson in the Boombox Classic, I'm not picking you Bamas to win nothing. Okay, nothing of importance. Nothing of importance, but And going forward, I thought that was like the best matchup. I'm like, Southern, they got all this defensive line. They got this, they got that. They got Corian Harris. They got all these talent. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, cool, it's going to be something crazy. If Southern can't, listen, man, Jackson State beat FAM by 50. Jackson State beat FAM by 50, right? They beat Valley by 42. You know what I'm saying? If you can't beat UAPB by more than 30 points, what are we doing?
I mean, okay, so right now, really and truly, because I know how I feel about it, is Southern even on the level of Alcorn right now?
I wouldn't trust it because I know Alcorn knows who they are. Alcorn knows what they are. I don't think Southern.
That's a weekly occurrence. That don't even faze me anymore. He'll be back.
They don't know who they are. So going forward, I don't know. I don't even know what Southern is. I don't know if they want to be a run first team. I don't know if they want to be a pass team. You know what I'm saying? But I tell you this though, if number 14 from UAPB was playing, Jalen McCown or Jalen McCown, whatever his name is, I would have picked UAPB. I would have picked UAPB to win this game.
Yeah, bro, it might be a race to see who finishes last in that division. At this point, between Southern, Grambling, I mean, come on, man, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, Texas Southern PV looking real good right now. Like all them PVs, like I think they put PV at number 2 for the
3.
Number 3, or because they had
Alcorn was 2.
Yeah, so right now, if Alcorn played Southern, I'm picking Alcorn.
I am too. Even in Baton Rouge.
It's not even a question. But this game, listen, Blue, Mr. Campbell Tech, listen to this schedule. Listen to this schedule that they got on the back half for Southern. This could get ugly really fast, right? They have Prairie View. They got UAPB, they got Prairie View, Alcorn, Jackson, and FAM all on the back half. And for homecoming, they got Virginia Lynchburg.
That might be 4 straight losses. It could, if they don't play well.
It could get really ugly really quick. And you're at Bragg. You have Alcorn at home. UAPB is at home. You're at Jackson. You know what I'm saying?
The best case on that stretch is 2-2, in my opinion. The best case. Because I can't see them going 3-1 or 4-0. Definitely not 4-0.
Definitely not 4-0. Definitely not. Man, it's crazy. Listen, I'm telling you right now, Blue. They better beat these boys to sleep. I'm so serious. I'm so serious. Like, I cannot have. I can't. What did you bring Dooley here for? Like that's it goes back to that for me. If he can't beat UAPB by 30 or 35, what are you here for, my guy?
Now, I will say, Alcorn didn't beat UAPB by that much.
No, but the style of offense that they run.
I got you on that.
It don't compare. You know what I'm saying? I'm shocked that they came back still running the ball and end up beating them by what, 17?
Yeah.
They kept running the ball and end up beating them by 17. So if Alcorn can run the ball down your throat and beat you by 17, let's double that and beat them. You got to beat them by 34 now. Now you got to win by 34. So I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. It's just I just can't. I'm telling you, if they play number 14, UAPB got a good chance to win this game. Coach Green, coming to you. Call lines open 518-263-8124. 518-263-8124. What's up, Coach?
Man, for starters, y'all gonna get off Southern, man. I don't care how we win. If we win, we win. That's all that matters.
Okay.
We don't gotta win by no 21 points.
Sounds like a losing.
As long as we win.
Mindset. Sounds like a very pedestrian mindset to me. That's my personal opinion.
No, ain't no pedestrian.
It is.
Ain't no pedestrian.
As long as
we win by 20.
As long as we win.
But a win is a win.
As long as we
win. A win is a win.
We beat UAPB by 1 point. As long as we win. Okay.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, after we beat UAPB, we're gonna beat PV. We win 3 straight before we play the JV squad. We win 3 straight.
All right.
3 straight.
Okay. If you say so.
And I stand by it. And you know who our 3 opponents are.
I don't.
You already talking about one.
I don't. Who are the other 2?
Shoot. Yeah. That will be it.
So hang on. Wait, whoa. So you're saying y'all gonna beat PV, Alcorn, and Jackson State?
I say we're gonna win. We don't play Jackson State till after we play the JV squad.
Okay, just making sure.
We don't play Jackson State till we play. We got UAPB, PV, and Alcorn. 3 straight wins right there.
Okay.
Listen, I ain't gonna lie to you. That schedule is looking real good for y'all because if y'all didn't have Virginia Lynchburg, I probably would have counted. It didn't matter who y'all put on.
Hey, don't forget the JUCO junior team they played week 1.
Oh yeah. Hey, but Virginia Lynchburg gave Central some issues. North Carolina Central some issues.
Did they lose like 48 to?
In the first half, it was like 14-7.
Oh, I didn't watch that game.
Oh yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. I ain't watching. Come on, man.
The first half was like 14-7. So
yeah, they won, but it was 59-14 at the end.
I'm just saying.
Hey, got something to say since we talk about Heisman. Rhino for Heisman.
Who?
The purple rhino for Heisman.
Okay, whoa, Coach. I don't know if you saw the coach's corner on my channel. Alcorn and Jarvion picked his own nickname. He wants to be called Agent Zero.
Agent Zero. Okay. Agent Zero.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, that's what Coach said. Coach Fred said. I mean,
I don't really.
That's even better.
I don't really like it.
The purple rhino, man. What is that? That sounds like one of those energy drinks you buy like behind the gas station. That can't be a nickname. The purple rhino? Come on, man. Agent Zero's got to be it. You got to come up with something better than purple rhino.
Hey, all I know is commentators say that, man. Because all I can say, if you watch that running, and when you hear the dude say how it came out his mouth, and you watch Rhino throwing the dude up in the air as he run over everybody else, you be like, yeah, he a Rhino for real.
He a Rhino for real. Thanks for the call, Coach Green. He's a Rhino.
Man. Bro, at this point, can we just start hashtag Coach Green for Heisman? No, we're just giving everyone the Heisman at this point. Jesus.
Everybody get it. I don't like Agent Zero. I'm not a fan. I don't like that's like a basketball. That's like a basketball name. You know what I'm saying? It's not really like Agent Zero. Like, oh no.
It's still so much better than the purple rhino. That is a horrible nickname.
I didn't like that one either when he told me. He was like, oh, the announcers called him the purple rhino. I'm like, I wouldn't like that. Like, I ain't like Muscle Hamster for Doug from the dude from Tampa Bay. They used to call him the Muscle.
Yeah.
I'm like, Muscle Hamster? Like, don't call me that. That is just so disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? So
we need better dick names. 2022, apparently.
Listen, man. I'm usually pretty good at nicknames, but Jesus Christ. I mean,
that should be your next giveaway. The person who comes up with the best nickname for Jarvion Howard gets a T-shirt or something.
I would call him like the Purple Train. Like, I like that, like the Purple Train. Like, I'll do something like that, but tell that man he can't give himself a nickname. Thank you. That's not how they work. That's not how they work. You can't be like, yeah, from here on out, I'm call me Mini Me. Like, you can't do that. You know what I'm saying? I would like the Purple Train. Yeah, I'm saying, like, but yeah, Agent Zero, that's a basketball thing, man. Like, Purple F3. Hey. That's pretty dope. That's pretty dope. I think that's pretty creative. Purple F-350, like that's someone called him the Mack truck. Oh nah.
I feel like that's overused. Like I feel like people use that too much in like conversation.
Yeah, I think it has to be something with purple in it.
Yeah.
I think it, like that. Hey, that dude almost picked that joke off. I think like they had the purple people eaters and stuff like that. I think they have something with purple in it. But running back formerly known as Howard, man, y'all need to stop, bro. Purple Haze, no, you can't do that in college. He can make money off Purple Rhino.
They said Barney on steroids. Oh man, this is tough.
Oh man, I like that purple F-350 though. That's pretty cool. I thought my purple train was.
We're 0 for 2 on nicknames though, so we're back to the drawing board on this one.
What did you say?
No, I'm just talking about like the 2 nicknames that he wanted to go by, like the Purple Rhino and Agent Zero. 0 for 2.
That would be a dope name if for the defense, like Purple Storm. Now I would take like Purple Storm for the defense. Like if you just had it like all together, like encompassing. Yeah, I think that'd be dope. Yeah, I think that maybe nah.
I don't know. Is Muscle Milk Grambling sponsor? Is that what someone just said?
I don't know. Purple Hulk. Nah, nobody Peasy. Nobody cares about this Mack truck. Stop it. I feel like the Harlem like stop shooting that little piece of shit. Stop saying that name. Nobody cares.
All right, man. So I saw one of the comments. Do you think NCCU right now, based on what you've seen in the MEAC, is going to run through that conference?
I don't think they're going to run. I think are they going to lose? No, I don't think they'll lose. I don't think they're going to run through it. Run through it is what Jackson State is doing to the SWAC right now. That's running through it. I think they're going to win. I'm really excited to see Morgan State versus NCCU. Honestly, I think they're going to come up with a good game plan defensively to see what they can do with that. But I don't think they're going to lose. But at the same time, I don't think they're going to just beat everybody by 30 and 40 points. You know what I'm saying? But I agree with Paris. I do see them in the Celebration Bowl though.
The one question I do have, if Morgan finishes second this year, in year 1 of Damon Wilson, is it over for the rest of the MEAC when he gets a real recruiting class in?
It's a wrap, bro. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. I mean, listen. I'm about to just have me like I'm just gonna have me some Morgan State merch because it would do me nothing better than to have a Maryland school doing what it's doing. You know what I'm saying? But his first year to be second or third, Blue, when you've been picked to be last. Yeah, second or I'll take second or third at this point.
Right now, so Norfolk. So I talked about this on my live. Norfolk right now, is sitting at 0-4.
Yeah,
they get Sacred Heart this weekend.
That's a loss.
And so you're 0-5. If they finish last in the MEAC, what is the narrative surrounding Norfolk State and Dawson Odoms? Because I talked to BJ about this. They gave him a 6-year contract, and this is year 2. And you're talking about potentially finishing last in the MEAC this year.
Yeah, I
haven't heard that. If that's true, then that's brutal.
Yeah, that's pretty serious. That's pretty crazy. My thing is, but from what I've been told, is that he's playing a lot of freshmen. I don't know for a fact. I don't know. I haven't really watched a lot of Norfolk State.
I just got a DM that confirmed it from someone around the program and said the transfer portal announcement is probably coming soon.
Yeah. So that's crazy. So Gary Qualls' GQ is out.
Well, that no offensive MVP looking real strong for you right now.
I was right. I was right. Boy, I was right.
Oh man.
So I look at it like this. What were your expectations for Norfolk? that's the key. You know, it's the balancing of expectations because he had a senior starter with Pooty, you know, the quarterback that left and dipped, you know. So you don't have a starting quarterback that you trust. You still have JJ Davis, you know, a star. If I'm him, the transfer portal is looking really good right now. You know, I'll give him one more year. I would give Odoms one more year.
Yeah, well, I mean, you got to. I don't think they can afford the buyout if we're going to be. I mean, to buy out of someone, I don't know what his contract numbers are, but to buy out year 2 of 6, I mean, you're paying what at least 75% of that contract up front.
And you know, ain't no HBCU got that.
No, and I mean, the reason it's concerning for me is that you're telling me Delaware State has all these, lost arguably their best player of the transfer portal, hasn't looked super impressive. You can't even finish above Delaware State and Howard right now.
Hey, when you put it like that, Blue, that sounds really bad.
I mean, you're 0-5 right now, man, and have not looked impressive against anybody.
Against nobody. I mean, yeah, nobody. They played St. Francis last week.
Okay, St. Francis is a team that the fact they lost that game is brutal. I mean, that Norfolk State should be able to win that game easily, walking away, and they got beat by double digits. That's just crazy, man. I don't know.
It's not like it's like it's sitting on you.
It is, man. Because listen, I get it. Because coming into the season, I thought the MEAC was going to be better than what a lot of people were giving it credit for. I knew Delaware State was going to take a big step forward. I knew Howard potentially could. They had the pieces there, but Norfolk State had all the pieces. To only really think they lost to Deshaun Dixon at defensive end, and they lost their quarterback. Yeah. Everyone else was coming back. So I get it. And A&M's kind of going through the same thing, but A&M had to rebuild their whole defense. You still got 2 all-conference corners. You got an all-conference linebacker. You still have guys on the D-line that were right there in terms of all-conference. Your offensive line returns Colby Bird, who might be one of the best offensive linemen in the MEAC. You return what me and you have said is the best running back now that Wilkerson went to Jackson State. Yeah. You can't get a win? To me, that's a panic button.
Well, I'll hold off. Let's see how the conference play looks because he hasn't touched conference play yet.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? So let's see how conference play looks, and see where they go from there. You know what I'm saying? And see if they can right the ship in that aspect. 9868 coming to you. Hey, calling you live.
Yo, what up?
What's up?
What up, fellas? Hey, Calvin call from the Jack. Question for you. Where are those damn trash bags at? I know you got to bring them back, man.
What did you say? I'm sorry, I missed it.
I said, where them trash bags at?
Oh,
he's got to take the G off of them, though.
Can't use the glass.
Oh, man. Yeah, I was sponsored for a good little minute, man. I was sponsored.
Is he coming back? I kind of missed it.
Listen, I might have some Southern trash back. Let them Bama's lose the UAB. God, I'll get some Southern trash back. I will get some Southern trash back so fast.
Oh, man.
Let them Bama's lose the UAPB.
Hey, were you about to jump on that Southern bandwagon?
No, not me. I
thought you were about to jump on before the people started.
No, I almost did jump on the Grambling one. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was like, I was like, oh, they looking pretty good. You know what I'm saying? But nah.
Leave that train at the station.
Nah, I did. The reason I didn't jump on the Southern bandwagon because of Coach Green, and I'm glad I didn't because he's like, he's annoying. He was like, you know, he don't even say Southern right. Southern, you know. You coming to Southern? I'm like, bro, it's Southern. Like it has T and a H and E and an R on it. Like.
No. Hey, I agree though. You're not saying it right. It's SUDDEN Southern. That's how it's supposed to be pronounced.
No, that's not how it's spelled.
Anyway, man, they trash it away. If they lose the UAPD, yeah, they won't get roasted. But seriously though, so the Corals quit the team.
He didn't quit the team. He just joined the portal. Like, y'all gotta stop. Like, nobody quits the team. You just say, "Hey, I want to go to your transfer portal."
So, well, the question is, I know you got connections down to both places. Did Maynard lose the locker room?
He hasn't lost the he has not lost the locker room. I'll say that. What I will say is that Quarles wanted something. He felt that, he didn't get it, so he ended up in the portal. I'll just say that.
Okay. So, politically correct way of saying he lost the locker room.
No, he didn't. No, I'm saying that he didn't.
I'm messing with you.
Yeah. He did not lose the locker room.
My guy's got one school that he's not banned from, and y'all are over here trying to get his connections just cut. Man, Scotty's gonna have to go cover the Pioneer League. But when y'all are done with this show, man, this is ridiculous.
Come on, man. Like those my guys over there, man. Like, hey.
Hold on. I know he's banned. He's banned in Jackson. He's definitely banned in Montgomery. He's banned in Grambling. Definitely banned in Pine. What else he been banned in?
Nah, Pine Bluff
banned, probably.
No, Pine Bluff banned me on Twitter, but they didn't ban me at the stadium. They didn't ban me on the stadium.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
if the people in Jackson don't get you, it's gonna be the potholes. And I'm from Jackson. Anyway, before I get up out of here, what up?
No, you good.
I gotta go back to work. Alcorn still trash. Southern, y'all suck. I hope to God UAB beat the brakes off Southern so I can laugh. Oh, anyway, that's all I got.
I appreciate it. Hey, man, listen. I've had some friends graduate.
You got to watch this play from South Carolina. Jesus Christ.
What happened?
That interception or I don't know. That dude just ran through the whole offense. That's sad. This is getting out of hand.
Guess who threw the pick?
I know who threw it.
Guess who threw the pick? That boy is awesome.
Do we have a caller right now?
Nah.
Okay. What did you think about Okay, so what was your take on the Maynard Simmons situation, and what was your take on Dion inserting himself into it?
What did Dion say before I respond?
So he saw the video that I think Kenya posted, and he said 60 ?
Yeah. Miss Sykes, shout out to Miss Sykes because Dion retweeted it. Listen, Maynard seems like a bad loser. Like that's the vibes I get. Like he seems like, because that's front running, right? Like when Dion says a front runner, if you can only talk trash when you're at the top, and you can't talk trash when you can't take it when somebody's giving it to you, that's front running to me. All right. So I think at the same time, like, if you're gonna have the bravado as I say what I want, I move how I want, I do what I do, and then people respond to you, or they respond to it in a because Willie didn't seem like, I don't know what he said. He didn't seem like he was nasty or whatever he said was nasty or whatever, but Maynard took it sometime. Listen, man, Maynard's catching a lot of L's, and that's the bad thing that makes this look, because you're not winning. You're losing, and you're catching L's in the media. It's not a good look. It's just really not a good look for Coach Maynard. I think he needs to focus on what he can control, and that's his team, and getting it situated.
What's the narrative if they actually put more than 60 on A&M again? Because right now they could do it.
Man, I wouldn't, and I'm going to that game. I'm gonna be in Mobile
for sure.
Yeah, listen, man. I wouldn't even know how to respond. I think that'd probably be the quickest post-game show I've ever done in my life, because it's just like, what do you say after that? Like, it's like a massacre part 2. You know what I'm saying? So, like,
it's going to be brutal to watch that game. I'm just going to tell you, because I really think, because I brought up those Houston teams that would just run the score up on people. I really don't see him benching Shador at all in that game. They are going to try to score every single time in that game, just because I feel like they got a point to prove.
I think the Alabama schools,
both of them, yeah.
Yeah, I just think it's just not going to be a good look for either one of them. Listen, man, and this is me being, if that score is less than 50 points for Alabama A&M, that's a win for me. I think
that's a fact.
That's a win. That's a win. You can walk up with your hands up high.
Hey, at least it's in Mobile. There's probably, they got a lot of alumni in Mobile. They're going to turn the scoreboard off. Someone's going to trip over the plug and unplug it before he hits 60. Guarantee it. Just pull the whole plug on Ladd.
I think really is now. I will make a bet with people to see if they're going to put 60 on. I don't think Alabama A&M. Listen. I think Kenneth Boulware is going to have some stuff situated to where they won't put 60 on them. I think they're going to blow them out, but I don't think they're going to put 60 on them. I really don't think that.
Also, I don't know if you saw this. Someone just texted this to me on ESPN. Dan Mullen picked his top non-QB performers of Week 4, and Jarvion Howard was a selection.
His top QB?
His top non-QB performers.
Oh, non.
Yeah, non-QB. So Jarvion Howard was selected, and Fotis, the wide receiver from Fordham that had 13 catches, 320, and 4 touchdowns.
Crazy, 320. That was crazy. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. At least I won't have to. Yeah, I'm not doing that again. Yeah, that was. Yeah, I'm not picking him. I'm not picking him after that. Yeah, man. Listen, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. If I was Dion and I put 60 on A&M again, like I would be like, why are you even talking to me? Like, listen, you talk about petty. If I was Dion, right, and I put 60 on Banner again, and that coaching call on Monday, as soon as they're like, Coach Banner, can you tell us about? I whooped his ass. I'd be like, I beat him. Why are you still talking? I'm still scoring. I'm still scoring on him. I would act a plum fool. Plum fool. All right, hold on. Let me take this caller. This is the last caller. Hey, Mike, you live.
Scotty.
What's up, Mike?
What's up, Blue?
What's up, man?
Oh, when it comes to Alabama A&M, we gonna order a 60-piece, and I want the wings drenched in Shador barbecue sauce, fries, and a drink for Coach Maynard this year.
Listen, man. I can't even say that. I would hate to be an alum of that school at this particular time. I'm not even gonna lie to you, because that game is just looming in the back of my mind. I don't know if you ever had this experience, Blue, or you're in trouble with your mom or dad, and you know a butt whooping's coming. You know what I'm saying? You just you just don't want to go home. You just don't want to go home. So,
praying the bus got a flat tire, the bus breaks down somewhere.
You know what I'm saying? Something tragic happens, so your parents don't think about how they gonna whoop your butt when you get to the house. You start walking real slow to the home. You know what I'm saying? You doing everything around the house. That's how I feel, man. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Mine have been having bad luck ever since we dropped 6 on him last year. He just been going through it. But I don't feel sorry for it, because you know why? Recruit some more 5 stars. Recruit some more 5 stars. Yeah, man. Like you say, he be front running. He talked all that trash in that interview. But now he want to front run. Now he want to hide. I don't feel sorry for him.
Yeah, I don't think you're gonna be saying too much of that week. I don't think you're gonna be saying.
But that's all I want, Scott. I just wanted to order my 60-piece wings with Shador barbecue sauce.
Did you buy it yet?
Fries and a drink.
Did you buy it yet?
Extra Shador barbecue sauce on the side.
Did you buy it yet?
Oh, no. Scott, I don't know if I'm going to be able to buy it. Like you said, I don't think I trust the barbecue sauce that's being sold in the bookstore. I don't think I'm going to trust some barbecue sauce sold in the bookstore.
So I just want to get this straight. They can serve barbecue sauce by Shador, but they can't sell his jersey. All right, never mind. I don't want to start no trouble. Appreciate it, Mike. I don't want to start no trouble. You can sell barbecue sauce, but you can't sell his jersey. Okay, I see where this is going, but that's neither here nor there. All right, Blue, what you got coming up for this week?
Man, nothing coming tomorrow. Yeah, I'm dropping my FCS prediction article on the website, and then man, just traveling. Have full coverage, highlights, pictures, everything from Campbell this weekend versus NCCU. I'm really excited to see that game, man. But other than that, man, just traveling, driving.
Hey, man, listen. Wishing you safe travels. I know you got a ways away. You know, you hit this. You hit the mile point so we can do the show, and I appreciate that. Tomorrow, guys, I'm gonna be doing huddle reviews. Okay, so I got a lot of high school players that's been hitting me up. I put out there, you know, I want to get these under recruited players some views and some looks. So if you're a coach out there in the SWAC country, MEAC country, whatever land you are, I'm gonna be doing all huddle reviews on Friday. So you're gonna see my stream is gonna get flooded with huddle reviews. I got a lot of kids, so that's what I'm doing tomorrow. Watch party is 6 o'clock, 6:30 for Southern and UAPB. Southern UAPB is my game of the week, so that'll be my watch party. I don't think I'm gonna do a game before that. And you already know Sunday is going to be the Baller Awards. Let me see. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for me, man. That's it, man. But yeah, Blue, safe travels, bro. For everybody on here, make sure you like both streams. Go to my boy Blues. Like his stream. You already over here. Like the stream as well. All right, so listen, until next time. Hey, Blue, you got a new camera? That thing is crisp, bro.
Nah, it's just my computer camera, man.
That thing is
nice. I didn't bring my actual camera with me. I mean, I got my camera I'll be working the game with, but yeah, this was my computer camera.
Man, that thing is clean as a mother.
Appreciate you, man.
You got like a Mac or something?
Yeah, man, listen, I need to upgrade the equipment, man. So I saved up a bunch of money, bought new camera, new computer this year, everything. We went all out this year.
Man, you already try to count my pockets. I need to be counting your pockets. You already try to count my pockets. Come on, GMC, how you get on? Don't count my pockets. You already got new cameras and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Prayer call Tuesday. Listen, get your prayer. We got some praise reports from our prayer calls. I thought you were gonna catch that. So listen, don't let your pride block your blessing. All right, you can DM, you can text message it to us. You can send it to me. You can go on my Instagram, Twitter. Anything in your life that you need prayer for. All right, I'm not doing the prayer, so you ain't got to worry about it not going to God. Okay, it's not me, it's my girl, it's my lady, it's Key. All right, because it's this beautiful woman right here below. She talks directly to God. I'll be asking her every morning what God say. So that is what it is. Don't let your pride block your blessing. All right, if you need something, you want God to move, make sure you hit us up some way, somehow. If you want it to be anonymous, we can do that as well. All right, so prayer call on Tuesday. On Sunday at 2:00. So yeah, that's it. So until next time, you know what I'm gonna do. I'ma holler. God bless.